Notification. I know, everything changed.
You're good to go whenever you like.
Recording on?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm calling to order. It is now 2:05 on October 8th, 2025. Calling to order the meeting of the Board of Directors of Georgetown Public Utility District. Can we have the roll call, please?
Yes, Director McDonald? Here. Director Fisher? Present. Treasurer Stovall? Present. Vice President Saunders? Here. And President Seaman?
There. Director Fisher, would you please lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any public comment on the adoption of the agenda? Closing that. Prior to the adoption, Nick, do we have any changes to the agenda? I know Frank has some.
Yeah, we do have two removals from the agenda under closed session. And I believe there's also a typo on the agenda, and I apologize. On the public agenda, there's no number 9. So it goes from action items 8 to 10 to 11. So I'll just note that the closed session, I'll just refer to as closed session items, so we don't confuse the numbers. But items B and C will be removed, and I will turn it over. Actually, I think it's B, C, and D, correct?
The D.
Yeah. So we're not doing that one, right?
Correct.
So B, C, and D.
Yes.
So remove B, C, and D, and then I'll turn it over to legal because we're gonna add something under the closed session.
Yeah. So under the Brown Act, we can add an item to the agenda under as an urgency item. I received, and this relates to the closed session. I am requesting that the board by a 2/3 vote, which would be 4 of the 5 board members, vote to add a conference with legal counsel anticipated litigation under Gov Code section 54956.9 D2 for significant exposure to litigation 1 case. I will discuss in detail in closed session, but I just received information yesterday after the agenda was posted, obviously, and that requires board direction and is related to that closed session item. Under the Brown Act, you can add an item to the agenda, including the closed session item, if there's a 2/3 vote because of 2 things. There is a need to take immediate action or give immediate direction, and that the need for the action or direction in closed session came to the attention of the district subsequent to the agenda being posted. I think both of those findings can be easily satisfied here. So I would request that we add that discussion, that closed session item.
Also moved. Second.
And before we adopt the agenda, I just want to make sure the public has an opportunity to comment on this as well.
What's the difference? The difference between code that ends in a 1 and one that ends.
Yeah, good question. That one relates to initiation of litigation. This one, yeah, this one is exposure to.
So one coming in, one going out.
That's one way to put it, yes.
Exposure.
Exposure to.
Okay, and the other one's one that's current.
The other one is if the district were to initiate litigation.
Okay.
So think of it as potential plaintiff versus potential defendant. That's the difference between those two.
So this is a plaintiff.
This is the one I'm adding would be a potential defendant.
Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense.
We have a motion and a second to make that change.
Did Director Stovall, you made the motion? I don't mean to interrupt, and then Director Fisher.
Yeah, do we need a roll call vote on that one or?
Let's do a roll call vote.
Oh, Director Fisher?
Yes.
Director McDonald?
Aye.
Director Stovall? Aye. Director Saunders
Aye.
and Director Seaman.
Aye. Okay, so. And I need a motion to adopt the agenda. Or are there any other changes I should ask for?
I think that was just.
That was the motion for
You
that.
guys have any?
That was the motion actually to add it. Okay,
Yes,
we should-
now we're going to the next phase.
Yeah.
So I'm asking if there's any other. Come on, you guys, let me run my meeting. If there's any other changes to the agenda. Okay, now can I have a motion to adopt the agenda
Make a motion to
with
adopt
changes?
the agenda with the change.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Let me see. Agenda is adopted. Here we. So please note for any guidelines for the public forum, if they misappear on meeting agenda, as a reminder, under the Brown Act, public must address all public comments to the board, not to staff and to members of the public. Due to Brown Act limitations, the board is not able to discuss or take action on items not on the agenda. The public forum is now open. So, we're up to the consent calendar.
You might want to close the public forum.
Okay, public forum is now closed. Now we're up to the consent calendar. Are there any board members wishing to pull any of these items for further discussion? Cricket. Okay. I'm going to public comment now on this item. Are there any public
Oh.
comment? Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought this resolution was off consent, but could I bring up one small item on accepting the resignation of Andy Fisher from the Finance Committee
you wanna pull that one?
very quickly? Just.
Well, is it a brief question? Because you may not need to pull it.
Yeah, it just says, whereas Mr. Fisher announced her resignation.
Oh.
I said it.
That's a typo. We can change it.
That's it.
I apologize.
Wow. Okay, I think we can. Do we have any public comments on
The consent calendar.
yes,
Why is number B in there and not a new action item?
This is a non-controversial item.
Well, I mean, there's only two other things on the agenda down there that you could discuss, the $100,000 difference in price.
Cool.
I mean, that's like,
If the board members want to pull it, that's fine. It's just, consent calendar is typically for non-controversial items. I didn't think it was not controversial. It's been approved at the budget in the CIP, so I assumed that we could put it in that spot.
Do you want to give a quick briefing on it? Because since there is a question from the
I think
public,
you'd have to pull it if you want.
I would agree. I'll motion to pull that item and discuss it.
Sure.
okay, so we've now pulled 4D.
Oh, yeah.
B as in boy.
Pardon me?
B as in boy.
Contract with
Sorry,
pending
B.
construction in the amount of 51,000.
All right, that's the wrong one. B. Okay, so we're gonna close public comment now, and then is there a motion to adopt the consent calendar pulling 4B?
Make a motion to accept the consent calendar, pulling option 4B.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Fisher did the B.
Good idea. Thank you.
he's,
Then I have to vote for you.
Okay. We can move right to
Okay,
B.
so we're up to 4B.
So 4B is a contract that we have to install an automatic gate here at the side of the property that would allow would keep the public out. We also are proposing one at Sweetwater Treatment Plant. This is a risk mitigation liability item. We've had some, I don't want to call them nefarious people, but we've had some people walk back there that don't belong back there. So that we are trying to basically make our equipment safer during the day instead of leaving the gate wide open. Having it closed back, so it'll be a sliding gate that closes and a sliding gate that opens. The employees will have code that opens when they get there. And then they'll go out, code when they leave. So it's to install that. And then at the Sweetwater plant, it's a lot more sensitive, obviously with a large water treatment plant. There's two just swinging gates and they are open in the morning and they're closed at night. And so this will be a similar operation where they are closed all the time as opposed to just at night. And then I'll add, we are proposing this project to be submitted to Aqua JPA's risk liability program because of the nature of the project and the theft possibility. They like these types of projects, and I'll flag Director Stovall if he would like to say any words about this. Who we had originally thought this project for this grant for something else, but this is a better project because we can actually receive the full $10,000 that they have that you can award for this project. So we will be submitting this project to that program, which is opened October 1st and closed December 1st to be awarded in March. But you have to have done the project before you get rewarded for reimbursement. So we have a potential for $10,000 in reimbursement.
Director McDonald.
Is there any policy or procedure to change the code on an annual basis or employee turnover?
I'll ask Adam. I think, is it gonna be individual codes per employee?
So right now, we have district cards we get, so you know, the same kind of fob system. District vehicles will have in their actual trucks to open, but that won't go with anybody. It'll just be their district card. So when you start as an employee, you get that district card to get in the building. So when you leave, you turn that in. So then there won't, yeah, won't be that.
Today, is it just a chain and padlock kind of thing?
Yes.
Good project, I agree.
Director Stovall.
Just to comment, this is something that was mentioned at one of the Joint Powers Insurance Authority workshops. They were talking about how to reduce claims from their point being an insurance agency. And they mentioned two things that have been very beneficial. One was investing to pay for the gates, and the other was investing and paying for GPS location devices, for example, on generators and so on. That they provided an example of one agency down in the valley that they had put this location device on the generator. They were able to find it within 3 days where it had been painted and was ready to go south. So they are very interested in reducing claims. So this is a good investment for our liability and risk mitigation. So it's something that came through the trainings that we went to. And also I clarified that this will be something that's going to be tied in with the generator. So when the power does go out, it's just like with the treatment plant, it just switches over and that'll be on that same circuit. Thank you.
Then I'll note that this did come in considerably under the proposed project limit within the CIP.
Director Saunders.
And with this project, I will now keep us up to date on the legislations for gates and agencies and districts. So now we will have to track that. We didn't have to track it before, but now as we're getting the gates, we will track those.
So the only other thing I know about that, like at Sweetwater, there's a problem with people parking and blocking the driveway. And with the gate closed all the time, is there something we're gonna do to try to mitigate that? Because I know there's some kind of a hiking group that likes to park right in there and go down that canyon
Yeah.
hiking, and that has been, I know, we're talking to the operator. He's said that they had to ask people to move, and it's kind of pain.
Yeah, I mean, we try to do that with signage and then painting the road red for like fire parking so that nobody parks there. Other than that, you know, they do park across the street a lot. I'm open to ideas with anything else we can really do, you know, because that kind of, you know, parking zone, that gives us the authority to call it, you know. Law enforcement, have them enforce that and get the vehicle towed. If need be.
Is there a camera on that too, so they can,
There's a camera that points down that spot, yes.
so that it can be,
Yeah.
all you have to do is make the call, you don't have to engage in the.
Yeah,
Problem.
because we have had the biggest problem with too, well, not the biggest problem, but one of the problems with the gates open,
Swing.
deliveries come into their gate and then they don't accept deliveries there. So they try to back into there, so we, people actually have hit our gate. And, you know, the cameras have helped identify who that is, but a lot of times they don't say anything, they never get hold of accountable. So, but if it's not open, that won't give them an opportunity to do that too.
Any other board comments? Open it to the public.
So why is there a difference of 100,000? Did they charge 75,000 per gate? I mean, that's what it comes out.
I wish I could answer that. It's just the way companies bid their projects sometimes.
Did they specify like this one put 24,000 per gate or whatever it is?
I'm gonna turn that over to him. He handled it, but
Yeah, the bids.
Yeah, they did specify, the only difference really was they had the same equipment, same install method, you know, where the power is coming from, how they're trenching. The only difference was other companies doing a little rework on this gate, but it wasn't really necessary, and I told them that. So I think that company is much larger than this one, and they're more down the valley, and they do more bigger projects like this, so that's the only thing I can think of why it was more.
Like 100, I mean, that's like.
And I was shocked too.
I looked
when
at,
saw it.
I was like, no, thank you, went for 150.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, when I first got it, I did the same reaction.
So those are the only two bids you got?
The only two bids we got, yeah. And we do struggle sometimes with bids up here.
Well, yeah, I could kind of,
It's, we try.
but it's good you got a local. Pretty
Yeah,
much on
yeah,
it.
it's pretty close, yeah.
And we did apples and apples comparison there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did, but really? Okay.
Yeah, so we did, yeah. And I made sure I was clear with both of them. Because they only ones that bid, they actually came out, both of them looked at the project, and I was clear up front, and I was like, the same across the board, so it was,
Including service after the sale and warranty period.
yeah.
Okay,
Which is kind of like the manufacturer warranty, which is that
Mhm.
the same units.
Thank you.
And what about when power goes out? It's-
Generator.
Generator.
And for security, I was concerned about security of swinging gates. It's basically the same as like a lock gate, how the units work on each side, and then they call it a mag lock, and inside it's rated the same, kind of as like a regular chain gate. That's worth it. I mean, someone drives through it, someone drive through it, so.
Any more public comments?
So if the backup doesn't work, you could still open it manually.
Yeah, we still, I mean, if we do. From the inside.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we accept this bid.
A second.
Fisher seconded. the motion.
Thank you.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, office and finance manager's report, we'll go through those three and then open it for public comment. Any questions or comment on the financial reports?
And just to be aware, Jessica is not here today, so that's why you do not see her in the room. She's on vacation.
Is that a yes or no?
I have a comment.
Go.
Go. Okay, the summary, from the investment company on the interest rates. Their two primary objectives are to support maximum employment and returning inflation at 2%. Until they just lowered interest rates or started last year, which says their primary focus is to support maximum employment. You don't lower interest rates to maintain inflation. So, but given that, inflation, the interest rates have stayed the same on the long end, which shouldn't affect our return of investment. Slightly on the lower end, but it looks like they'll maintain for a little while longer.
Any other comments?
And I will note that we did have two investments mature and we've purchased two similar investments in the last month.
Same rate.
395, that 394, I think, for each.
And just another comment, I think. Primarily with your input, Mitch, is that these investments have been laddered.
Yes,
So they go up to, I think, 5 years, is that?
Yeah,
correct?
that's what we basically, when one matures, we look for the next one 6 months out. So every time one matures, maybe it's 3 months, I can't remember if it's 3 months or 6 months. But so the next ones are, we basically bought ones that mature in 2030.
so we're about 1% lower than the year ago on the long end.
On the long end for
Yeah.
20%, roughly 20% of the investment.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay, back to financial reports is what we were talking about. On page 1 of 12. There's a penalty under the penalties on the water fund of $11,000.
I look at your, I don't wanna mess the Zoom.
Well, 412. So
Trust my guys. You're talking about the penalty, that's penalty billing?
no.
In the first row,
Yeah.
like 12 down,
Yeah, 41200.
yes.
Yeah, that's penalty billing. We had a lot of, we sent out quite a bit of late bills. And that's, I believe, the
So
penalty.
that's not penalties against stuff?
No, that's
Those are
penalty.
Penalties out,
It's penalties out,
okay,
yeah.
that's all, I'm just make sure,
That's a revenue section.
yes. I think that's all. Yeah. And then, I guess, anybody have any comments on the grant report, since we already went through, investment?
I've done it in my legislative.
Send into your legislative,
I said I'll touch on it in my legislative.
yeah, cause I was concerned about the grant part.
Yeah, I have a question on the grants.
So, before
Yeah.
you go, I'll just give a quick update. We have been working with the federal partners because there are USDA grant, US Bureau grant. We did start the project for the lining. That's the Bureau grant. We've been working directly with the USDA. Unfortunately, with the government shutdown, those folks are all shut down as well. So it doesn't mean our project goes away. It just means our project is delayed. We're still, I think, looking to do the lining project after November, right? We're gonna start in November. Yeah, so we're looking to start that in the next few weeks. They've already been doing vegetation clearing and kind of getting the area prepared for the lining. The USDA project, we have been developing the bids for it. And the last one is the appropriation. We will be having, they've been working on design work for the tank project, and that kind of is where the tank will go, where the tank, works the best for the project. And then, that will be submitted, and then the rest of the project will go after that. So we have those kind of projects going out to bid, sort of, kind of. We haven't really put the bid out for the tank yet, but our engineer is working on the design project. And the USDA, Adam's been developing the bid package to send that out until he can talk with the USDA because of the shutdown.
Anybody else have any comments, questions?
I just wanted to raise a question of, these are based on a fiscal year.
So once you get them, you get them.
Okay.
You have a deadline to finish them.
Okay,
So if you gave me a grant, I could tell you when it has to be completed by,
okay,
but even those can be flexible.
all right. My question or issue, I think that needs to be looked at, I think primarily by the finance committee first, but wanted to, well, I'm not gonna go there yet. Is how this relates to the calendar year budget or the calendar year cost of service when it comes to matches for these.
Yeah,
That we had a cost of service for a calendar year. And, these are some significant matches in here, and how to work between a calendar year and a fiscal year.
so some of those
Oh,
matches
yeah.
on there are in-kind matches,
Yeah.
so they're not necessarily financial.
Okay.
They're not necessarily hard cash.
All right,
The USDA grant is no match. the appropriation does have a 25%, am I right, 20%, 20% match?
312,000.
The Bureau grant, we've matched that, but that's only a small, I think it's about $80,000. WRDA will have a match, but that's also not anything that we're working off of yet, that appropriation. I'm trying to remember what else is on there. Which one are you flagging that's a high match? Is it this
The
HMG?
word, yeah. That's a $4 million match.
Yeah, but that's also over time, so that's $20 million that we spend probably 4 million at a time. So it's not, and the really nice thing about that is we can use other projects to offset that match. So things that we're doing, like the tank coatings, we can use those projects to offset that 4 million. So it's a match, but it's not necessarily a match for that project directly. Those are a little bit flexible on how you can quantify the matches. And then the last one, the HMGP, that is all in-kind match. So that's us doing the work and getting money to do the project. So our guys would be installing the pipe, our guys would be doing the work up there.
Yeah, my concern and question is how does this fit into the cost of service and the CIP?
Yes, so
12-month period.
everything is in the CIP. We do have a special grants section that is all that is laid out in the CIP.
Thank you.
Saunders.
I'm just following up with what Director Stovall said, we're also going to have our rate consultant go through and see what offsets will be going through from the grants we did receive this year to be able to offset.
Yes, he's already started working on that So I engaged him 2 weeks ago. And I'm hoping to have a preliminary look at the finance committee meeting and potentially the November board meeting. I'm hoping that he can get us something by the November board meeting.
And we'll be able to ask him questions.
Oh, he'll
And also have him look into other ways for funding from what ifs. What if we have this versus what would it change the cost of service?
help me with the what ifs. So I understand exactly what, so I want to just pass that along to him so that I can give him the right information.
Well, one of the things, this is off subject though. One of the things I was looking at was the fact that if we only have 400 irrigation customers, if we had 600 or 800 irrigation customers, how would that affect that cost of service? By having the more quantity, then would we be doing a reduction? So then that would trigger us as a board to be looking at how can we generate more revenue by customer base? If it actually will take the cost down or not, keep increasing it higher and higher, because we're kind of pulling it off the backs of less than 400 people now.
I can pose the question to him. In my experience, that's not a what if that he can probably do. He maybe, but I don't know.
We should be able to punch numbers in and give us ideas of how it would trigger change.
What I would caution you was it changes things on the expense side as well. So it's not a one-to-one change.
Correct, it's not a one-to-one, but we tend to have more lately on the cost versus what the public pays versus what our cost is, because we're just barely doing it. So I think it needs to be looked at again.
Okay.
Since he wasn't looking at that the last time. Is there anything else on the grants? Mike wants to talk about it later, so any public comments on financial?
The checks. The 12269. El Dorado County Auditor,
Yeah.
since our audit's not.
Tell me how much it's for and I'll tell you what.
6,189.
It's for. I know, I just had to turn it in and I'm trying to remember what it's for.
I mean, we don't pay property taxes.
No, it's not. It had to do with, gosh, I was just down there. It was
I forgot to.
can I tell you, I'll tell you what it is after this. I'll actually,
Okay,
get it for you.
And then what's Thatcher
It
company?
was a service or something.
Treatment chemicals,
The what?
treatment chemicals.
Is that for
Oh,
the,
really?
looking at the part?
Okay, well, that's it.
They don't have laws.
I think it could have been.
What was it like years ago? I mean, I don't know.
It's showing us about 25 cents a gallon, so pretty continuously.
Wow.
Something like that.
Okay.
It had to do with last.
Summer demand too.
That's a different one.
Higher. Oh,
Yeah, we're making a lot more water.
I know what you're talking about, but this 6,000 is different.
All right.
I'll have the answer for you in just a
Well,
minute.
if it goes to the auditor, that's something that is on,
It's,
otherwise it go to the treasurer.
I had to go and fill out some paperwork and I'm sorry, I'm having a mind blank about what it was for. So, I just texted Jessica, she'll tell me what it's for in a minute.
Any more public comments? Closing public comments? LB. So I guess we're gonna move on to. Board reports. Director McDonald,
Yesterday I participated in the educational training video.
Oh, good.
And that's all for me.
Director Saunders,
My report's in there, and the only significant update to highlight is that I was elected the Aqua Chair for Region 3 for next year, so.
you have to.
Stepping
Means
in
I-
vice chair.
Means I continue this through the Aqua conferences, so please accept those, and we will have continue our role with keeping the voices heard in Aqua.
Director Swalwell.
Attending an official event in December, which includes both the Aqua Association and California Water Agencies. And also the Joint Powers Insurance Authority, which resulted in the district applying for $10,000. And I also recommend to Andy that you look into the California Special District Association training for board members. I found that very valuable. I looked at their calendar. They don't have anything coming up. There's some recently passed, but I encourage you to look at that, and I can email you the contact.
I've had some information passed along, so
Good.
I
All right.
appreciate that.
Great.
Thank you.
Sure.
Director Fisher.
Yeah, I also got to participate in the informational video. I think whatever we can do to educate our constituents on the extent of what we do and how much work goes into it. I think is very, very worthwhile. Also like to compliment Director Saunders on the work you do at the state level and keeping our voice heard and bringing back information, what's going on in the broader world around us. Appreciate that.
And I have nothing to report. So we're up to any questions on the operation manager's report? Okay, nothing? Water resources manager's report, do we have any questions for Alexis?
I have a question. Every time you make this report, you usually have a projection from National Weather Resources or NA.
So we're gonna give Alexis a pass this month because she was at a conference when her thing was in. So, I don't know if did you do the weather update?
On the back.
Yeah, and my question is, we see this all the time, retrospective. How accurate are they? I mean, is it a 50-50, 75? I'm curious, because we've seen the El Nino come and go, and
I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
that's what I figured. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Their guess. Sounds like their guess, yeah.
I
They're
mean,
not even taking a guess.
I feel like they've been fairly accurate, but I've only been putting them on my report for, I don't know, what, maybe the last year?
Yeah,
And I don't think that that's really an accurate
okay,
length of time to have like a validated opinion on it, but
and that's what I'm looking for, is a validated opinion.
I did look, I'll have to maybe email you about it. I looked into this shift that they're talking about and the last time it happened, and I wanna say it was around it was when they called it Snowmageddon in town, but I didn't really dig that much farther into
Okay.
it, so I can look into it
Yeah,
and see, you know, if there's any patterns.
yeah, because I guess what I'm looking for is snow level
Yeah, yeah.
and amount participation and snow level, because snow is our other water bank out
Right.
there.
So I will add that we did start doing snow surveys. And Adam and Alexis are also working with the local, other local regions on kind of assessing snow levels and kind of the history of snow levels. So that is something that we've started to look at as well,
Okay,
so
great.
that we're aware.
Thank you.
Last year, Adam, it was March, I think, right? You guys went up and got to us 2 feet still on the ground in March when they went up, and they did some measuring. So it was actually a decent snowpack.
Good.
I think, yeah, we're working with, there's a national snow survey they do. We just kind of recently started working with Alexis and I think it's really gonna help us, like, because we're seeing snow later in the year, not later in the year, early in the year, and the snow quicker, it'll help us, you know, anticipate our irrigations and things like that. We're working to try to get a better handle on how to use it. But I will say though, our water model that we have been doing, we kind of did evaluation over the last, I've had that like 4 or 5 years, and it's been pretty accurate on the 50 percentile of what, you know, we predict in November, February range. All the way back to, you know, the end of the water year.
Okay, great.
Director Saunders.
Yeah, and I was just gonna pretty much add what Adam said, that the modeling is more accurate based on the patterns that we have and collect. The predictability of forecasting. They have great technological data, but it's just as good a forecast as the Farmer's Almanac. The forecast is pretty much exactly the same in the forecastability, like it's hit or miss. But when you look at the patterns that you've collected over the years and what you have based on certain time, those seem to be much more predictive, and those are kind of the models we use when we do. So we can't have that maybe 6-8 months ahead, but when we come around like November, December, we have a better look at what's going forward.
Okay, thank you.
Any other board questions? Underwater resources?
I'll get my hand up this time. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Is it not true that our watershed is generally lower in elevation than our surrounding
It is.
districts?
It is we do have some upper parts of our watershed that do collect snow still. But we are lower than some of our surrounding, reservoirs, yes.
Okay, do we have any questions on the general manager's report? No, it doesn't.
No.
Anybody? Okay, I have questions. On the canal lining project, how much money do we have in hand and how much are we looking to be getting?
The canal lining project was 240,000 grant. We don't get money before you get it. You do the project, you get it as a reimbursement.
Okay,
So the reimbursement is for, I believe, $160,000.
so we've spent how much?
We only spend about 40 to 50 right now. That's an environmental work. We're just starting to spend money on supplies and stuff, so we haven't really spent. We got 30,000 from our water agency part of that project. So really this we're going is probably spent 10 to 15 right now.
So we're looking at this job completion by June?
Oh, no,
No, yeah. no,
it'll be a couple days after. It would be one, they're doing 1,500 feet and it's gonna be a one shot type thing.
Okay,
Yeah, it's gonna, yeah, we're gonna have what we done by November
okay,
before
great.
weather sets in.
And then the other thing is, there was I saw online that we had multiple announcements for hiring and outside crew. Is there a scenario why we had, I think there was 2 or 3 positions open?
Yes, we had lost someone to a different
Okay,
agent.
lost.
Well, we lost an employee to was it Carmichael? Carmichael Water District down in
Permanent.
whatever you want to call it, valley. I don't know what the terminology is here. I'm new here
County.
to Sacramento County. So we lost somebody down there and then promoted someone to distribution internally and then hired a maintenance worker. So it's kind of a roundabout process. I think we only ended up hiring one new person. We just moved somebody up and then hired one new person. Am I correct in that, Adam?
We're hiring, haven't hired yet.
Oh, haven't hired,
We're in
okay, so-
process.
Sorry. I
And
No, that's.
it's sometimes a lot of moving
Thank
pieces.
God you're right here.
well, the turnover is, unfortunately, we're seeing a little bit more of it because of the salaries down in the valley area and PCWA. We lost one employee here who to the same amount of money, but it was because the potential for them to earn more money in the future was there. And so we're seeing those types of things as well. It's not anything we have any control over.
Any other director comments? Okay, I'm now gonna open this up for public comments. 3,
What's this educational video information?
So it's a video that is going to be put out for the customers of kind of where your water comes from. It shows the behind the scenes of where the canals are. And it also highlights some of the fire damage that we're facing and some of the work projects that we're doing to fix that. So it's and it's also going to be utilized to show to legislators to show how bad things are and why we potentially need more money to fix the problems.
So that's the one that costs $15,000,
Correct. It's gonna be,
okay? Is it done?
it's in, well, no, it's in process, so
So then how did they watch it?
they didn't watch it, they interviewed,
The educational or?
so they interviewed for it, they said they were on camera. So they're like, have a speaking part in the video,
Mitch and Andy,
Mitch, Andy, and Director Saunders, and then I believe,
Okay.
the other board members have the opportunity.
so it wasn't watching, they were involved.
No.
so what is a full cost for looking at on that? Is it
It's
gonna
15.
eat the 15?
What's that?
I thought it was just gonna eat the whole 15.
It may not eat the whole thing, but, depends. We have, I think, spent $8,000 so far. We do, the check just went out today. Or it's going out today, tomorrow, whenever Director Stovall comes in to sign the checks.
What's the length?
Mark.
We haven't decided that yet, so it's depending on what, they feel is the best. We don't like to go more than 4 to 5 minutes because then people don't like to watch it, you know. If it's a documentary, it tends to not be, people that lose interest quickly.
Yeah,
Any more public comment?
I have a question. $8,000, is that included the editing afterwards?
So we've spent 8,000 so far. That's just the first installment. The total project does include editing, yes.
Okay, we're closing public comments. All right, we're moving on to committee reports. Christy McKay, Irrigation Committee.
I'm here. Okay. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Can.
Okay, the September 16th meeting of the Irrigation Committee began with the general manager's status report on the Cherry Acres irrigation line problems that we had discussed at our July meeting. And he outlined the possible solutions being investigated by the district, indicating the best action to take would be decided at a later date. He then went over the results of the irrigation survey. At that point, September 16th, there were 38 responses. He'll have to update you on the number of responses as of today. And there wasn't a lot very different from surveys of previous years, but the new question about mapping ponds for fire protection presently surprised us. Almost half of the respondents said it was possible for fire vehicles and personnel to access ponds on their property. A quarter more were unsure about that access, and about half of those said yes, or I'd like more information to be part of a fire mapping system. Another new question related to changing the billing cycle and or prepaying irrigation accounts to lessen the financial burden of the rebillings every summer. The overwhelming majority said keep the billing the same as it is. About 20% would prefer a monthly billing cycle, and a handful indicated they would just use the prepay option. More customers knew about the ability to prepay than we originally thought. We then moved to discussing the upcoming forum with the proposed dates of October 28th or 29th. I'd like to note that at our July 15th meeting, we canceled the August meeting, directing that the general manager, committee member John Onusko, who's a member of the Garden Valley Fire Department, where the forum is to be held, and I would work on the forum together instead of the entire committee, since there wasn't much else to agendize for August. No such meeting. In closing, personal comment. Today, we are 3 weeks out from the proposed October forum dates. As Irrigation Committee Chair, I'm dismayed that I haven't been included or advised of any of the preparations, and I would like to ask the General Manager to provide an update at this time. The committee envisioned a meaningful event with myriad community involvement, and I am concerned about its status, and I am feeling the forum should be postponed. Thank you.
So the update on the forum is I met with the fire department this morning. Ms. McKay was invited. John Onesco and I met with Mr. Norman, Chief Norman at the fire department this morning. He is very excited to get on board with this. We have reached out to the chamber on multiple occasions and actually have had to have board member Saunders go personally to the,
I'm confused at why the chamber is, because that wasn't so much one of the ones on that list that were of importance.
the chamber was the sponsor for, we were going to do this in concert with the chamber, which was direction given at the board meeting for the food and any other kind of vendors that were going to be at the event.
Okay.
So I've reached out
I might note. Can I
Oh.
note that was also because of legal implications to kind of move some of the legal responsibilities to share it.
Paper. So I have reached out to the chamber for the past several weeks. I have received no response. I actually talked to them in person at that Founder's Day, and they said they would get back to me. And so I've gotten contact information through Director Saunders at this point. So I'm working on that angle of it. Actually, Chief Norman said that he would be interested in helping facilitate that contact as well with the chamber. So that seems to be moving in a positive direction. I have reached out to all the partners that were on the list. The federal partners have not responded, obviously with our shutdown right now. Unfortunately, we may have to wait until closer to the event or if something opens up before any of the Forest Service and or NRCS, RCD, all those folks are kind of in a holding pattern at the moment. John and Wes did state that they would go reach out to the Forest Service fire crew that is working up at Station 33 off Wentworth Springs and see if they had any kind of contacts because they are still fully staffed. So and then Chief Norman also expressed that he would be happy to get in touch with CAL FIRE so that they were in attendance at the event as well. I reached out to Chief Cordero. Unfortunately, due to a Placerville City Council meeting, he is not available to come. However, he is sending his fire marshal, and I'm sorry I don't have the name. It's in my email. His fire marshal will be in attendance at the event. And then I've also reached out to Georgetown Fire, but I have to get their updated contact information due to Chief Brown's upcoming retirement. I don't believe he is the contact person for involvement. However, I think we can encourage him to attend. So I think things are moving in the right direction. I understand that it's close, and I also feel the same pain that you all feel that this is 3 weeks out, but it hasn't been for lack of trying. It hasn't been for lack of putting the effort in to get the partners involved. There was one issue that I will note that was brought up at both irrigation meetings and the board meeting about the potential for Duarte Vineyards to come and serve beverages, and unfortunately they are not allowed to serve beverages because the fire station is a zero tolerance alcohol usage facility. So that is not something that we can do. One of the things that was suggested by Chief Norman and Mr. Onescu, or committee member Onescu, was instead of any of us paying for food, we invite some of the local food vendors that are mobile. There's a gentleman who works down close to the American River Inn burger place. I can't remember the name of it. Huh?
Dream.
Sure, Dream, yes, you're right, and because they're right here, so they may be, we're gonna reach out to them to see if they're interested, and then people can just purchase food at the event. And I also suggested maybe the hot dog lady, the dog days or hot dog days or whatever her name is. So those are some options for food to encourage people to come out. The facility, Chief Norman offered the entire bay, so even if it's a rainy day, we are going to be protected and inside the bay. He's gonna pull the fire trucks out, let us have the entire inside. And then he has a mobile audio visual TV for the presentation so that we don't have to actually have people come into like a room. We can do it right there in the bay of the fire station so that everybody can hear the presentation as well, of the results of the survey. Lastly, something that Chairperson McKay mentioned was about the ponds. Chief Norman was actually quite interested to hear that we had done some of this research. He is obviously wanting to do some more research on whose pond and what pond and where the ponds are located. So, but ultimately it was a positive, yes, that's a great idea. Thank you for doing that. So the survey is having positive results of it.
So a lot of legwork. Good job.
Did you also contact El Dorado County Fire?
Yes, Chief Cordero is El Dorado
Okay.
County Fire, so the fire marshal will be here. He said unfortunately he has a city council meeting at Placerville for that day. And we are proposing 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the event.
What date?
Oh, sorry, the 28th is the day that
28th.
is the Tuesday, the 28th. Apologize for that. So we will be attending the Fire Safe Council meeting tonight at 6 p.m. It's either going to be myself or Alexis Elliott, and they're interested in participating as well. So they have quite a bit of volunteer work that they can provide for an event like this.
Which fire safe?
It's El Dorado County Fire Safe, and it's all the ones up here too. I don't know what it's Divide, isn't it called Divide? Divide, yes. So it's the El Dorado County, but then they have all the little offshoots, and so
Right, that's what I was asking. because
yeah,
There's a lot of little,
this is the Divide one, but the El Dorado County lady Tamara Johnson's her name. She comes, and so we're gonna enlist her help with all the volunteers that she has to help with this project. So it's it looks like things are moving in a good direction. If you want to postpone, obviously that's a decision that is up to the board and however you want to do it, but we'll see how it goes.
The next irrigation committee meeting is on October 21st. And this will be on the agenda. That's going to be, we'll see what's going on by then. But the irrigation committee has not been involved in anything past saying we should have one. Thank you.
right, and that was one of the things that came out from the board. As direction to the GM that if we would have the irrigation committee actively involved in. And participating in this and getting it all pulled together. Any comments from the board?
What time of day does the irrigation committee meet?
That's the same 2:00, third Tuesday.
Tuesday.
2:00.
Mhm.
And,
And you can listen
Let's
to
check
the
in.
meetings, they're all on YouTube.
any public comments on this? Yes.
I have a concern about the irrigation really not being included in the, we've been having a lot of meetings since last winter. I think it's very unfortunate that the irrigation committee was not that, clearly the committee chair feels like she wasn't involved, and I think this speaks to the communication issues that have come up previously about not the lack of communication around things that are going on, and it does sound like the general manager is moving forward with all this stuff, but it just disturbs me that the committee, you've got a committee that's here to recommend and wants to help and wants to be involved in this and is being shut out. That's all.
Thank you.
I mean, I'd like to address that. I don't think that that's a very accurate statement. I did invite Ms. McKay and Mr. Enescu to meet with the fire chief. Unfortunately, Ms. McKay had a previous engagement, so she wasn't able to make the meeting. I mean, it is unfortunate that she feels that we're not involving her. I'm one person and I don't have any help right now with this. My other staff members are working on other things, and yes, they could also help, but I'm also only one person, so unfortunately, I
So
think that's,
clarification, when did you contact her to make this appointment? And when did you
it was-
contact the fire chief to make this appointment?
fire chief was last week, and I contacted her, I believe, Monday morning when the fire chief returned my messages.
For what, for Tuesday?
Yes, yes. I understand, it's unfortunate, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not
Well-
saying it's anybody's fault,
I think that's one of the things we've had problems with before is waiting things to make it where it's last minute, you're contacting somebody to get something. To get them to change their plans to accommodate. And I think, you know, we need to be a little more cognizant of everybody has a life. She's a volunteer. As well as John. John just happens to be part of Garden Valley.
I understand.
So that makes it very easy for him to accommodate, and I think, you know, when we're giving direction to have these two people actively involved. We would urge you to make sure you work to accommodate their time too, because they are the volunteers here.
I completely understand, and I wish that I had more time in my day to do all the things that I have.
May
Yes,
I
sir.
say-
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Christie.
Well, I just want to say that I reached out at least 3 individual times in person or in writing, offering my assistance in whatever he needed, in contacting the chamber, in contacting businesses to take some of the load off of him. And the first I was invited was Monday, the 6th to a October 7th event. So
I'm not disputing any of that. I was trying to reach out to the
Okay.
chamber and get a hold of somebody at the chamber and making sure that I had some of the ducks in a row that I needed to have in the row before we had the meeting with the chief. And I apologize that it has lingered the way it has, but unfortunately I have also been ducked by other people, so it's not all my fault.
Director
Yeah,
Stovall.
just to confirm, you contacted Ms. McKay after the meeting was confirmed, right?
Correct.
And if you want the backdrop on that, after I contacted him and questioned what was going on.
And I'll give you even more context to that. I had already been working on this for several weeks before you contacted me.
Recommend we move on.
We're now up to, Finance Committee.
There's just, the liaisons are directors, Saunders and Stovall, so if we can just fix that one type of thing.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't.
No gold. We don't have a report from the Finance Committee.
It was a really great report from the irrigation committee. I wish we could get that good a report from the finance committee chair. Finance committee has not met since, well, I don't know if I can give a report. I've been resigned from that position, so I have to defer to the.
We will have a meeting this month. We'll have another meeting to go. So like a hamburger. We will be having a meeting this month to meet and discuss. Hopefully the cost of service analysis, the preliminary, and there's been some other budgeting oversight that has been suggested by the liaisons to the board. So we will be including those items in the agenda.
Director Saunders.
And have we put out more requests for community
Yes.
members?
Yes.
And it went out on Facebook also.
Yeah, it's been on our website and we added a Facebook announcement as well.
And now we're up to our ad hoc strategic planning committee. I think this needs to move forward or come to the board or something happen because it's on way too long sitting here in pause.
Okay, let's talk to the GM offline and clarify what a good time is.
Okay. Any? Okay, any public comment?
Just to comment on the irrigation thing, I actually was talking to Wes the first of last week and he hadn't heard from anybody from the district.
I emailed him last week, so
Well, Monday or Tuesday. When
I
saying it hasn't been weeks.
no, I have not emailed Wes. I've been emailing the chamber to try to lock in the chamber for weeks. I was very clear in what I said.
Well, they're on Facebook too.
If you have any contact with the chamber, please have them email me because I've emailed them at least 4 times and I have not received anything back from them.
Are you, her name's separate than yes?
Her name is Sol, yes.
Oh, yeah.
To say, yeah, I,
Could have got it last night.
yeah, I discussed with the chamber in person yesterday, so that's squared away.
Thank you. That helps. We're closing public comment for that. Okay, I think we're up to legislative action items. Ding, ding, ding. And this is-
So there's no action items, just updates. So federally, since I did my report, the government has shut down. So one of the things, the impacts on the district, as was discussed with the grants that are already awarded will not be rescinded. It just may take longer for follow-up with people that are procuring it and staff and stuff if they are not working at this point in time. So there may be delay in getting contacts and some money may be slow coming, but once it's awarded, it's awarded. The significant impacts is the appropriations. So the federal appropriations is part of the budget. And last time a budget wasn't passed, so $6.8 million that was in the GFUD went away. So we are at risk of the $3 million that's in the appropriation budget from not being received. So those are the reasons why you can't rely on appropriations and grants when you do your cost of service, because those monies aren't guaranteed. So that's the one thing we do. At the state level, SB 72 was signed into law. That's one that does change some of the ways that we do our reporting with the water use conservation and things like that with the Department of Water Resources. And that will have some significant leeway in us, so that'll be helpful for the district. SB 697 was signed into law. That was one we were watching. That's on how they will determine water rights, and we'll keep an eye on what impact that may have on us. And if legal comes up with anything, maybe they can provide that when they do their yearly update on bills. The rest are still on the little list you can see, which are still at the governor's desk. The only one that is up for veto consideration that we know of is the PFAS mitigation program. That was one that would put money towards helping districts and agencies deal with PFAS, and it's a budgetary item, so that's why it will probably be vetoed. And the way it works is the governor has up to October 12th to sign or veto any of these bills. And any ones that he doesn't sign will automatically become law. And the ones that we were concerned about, the AB 367 one, that's the one, if it passes, will put some oversight of CAL FIRE and fire districts onto water districts for fire mitigation and fire suppression and fire reporting. And the concern is if that becomes statewide, the impacts it has on non-water agencies having input into water agencies' infrastructure and operations.
Any board questions for Director Saunders? Any public questions for Director Saunders?
That one you just talked about, fire district,
Yes,
say that again.
it's AB 367, so it's the Ventura County one.
How's that gonna affect fire department?
So basically what happened when the LA fires went and everybody tried to do go back and see what was some of the probably the anatomy that caused some of the problems. One was looking at hydrants, one was looking at the ability to have reservoir and the storage and when they release water. generators and backup generators. So now there's a whole reporting thing where they have to say how much water they have, when they're releasing it, is there stored? How's your backup generators? When do you trigger your generators? And this is all done with the fire agencies and CAL FIRE
Right,
being the ones that are in charge of it over the water agencies.
so they have to do the reporting, the fire agent.
And send it to the fire agencies, and the fire agencies are kind of in charge of it, whereas they aren't really the ones that work on infrastructure. They really don't know how you
Yeah.
operate your reservoir levels and things like that, so it may work well for a county level, but once that becomes a template for the statewide level, that wouldn't work at all. How would El Dorado County Fire, for example, be monitoring Stumpy or how we operate our generators? So it would be an issue if it becomes a statewide mandated legislation.
And then one other question I had was, those are waters of the US, so they're actually a federal. A lot of your waters are coming down, they're coming from dams, and that's all federal. And so how are they going to be able to regulate at the state level, the federal water?
At the agency level, you are in charge of your supply, so.
Right, but like what happened, they opened the dams up and
Correct.
congratulations, you're catching all this water.
Mhm.
And they had, the local level had no contact or any ability to stop it, slow it down, or say, no, I
Exactly.
don't want it. So. All right, I'll close public comment. We're up to,
Madam President, may I interrupt you for one moment? I have an answer to the question that was asked in public, at the, finance reports, if I can answer the question that was asked. Check, whatever the check was for.
go ahead.
The check is for the annual fees that we pay to LAFCO to be an actual public entity. So the $6,000 is something we have to pay every year, to be, it's basically how they are, funded, how that. That's correct. Sorry about that.
Okay, we're moving on to 8B. It's the, consider a new board liaison for support of the irrigation committee. Since we lost one of our directors, we're looking for a new liaison on the irrigation committee.
See some eyes. I would be interested in doing that. I've been an irrigation customer here in the district since 2012. Currently, we have on our property pigs and chickens, goats and sheep. Almost almost a dozen fruit trees. We have a pond. And also keeping a green belt for fire mitigation. And so I'd like to resign my position with the finance committee
Can't resign yet.
and take that to the irrigation committee. So I had an interest in being on irrigation just as part of my learning curve. Certainly willing to stand in line for that, if that makes more sense, but I did have an interest.
So my only thought is you're the treasurer. And I believe the treasurer is
I know.
supposed to be on the finance committee.
Okay.
We could readdress that thought at the end of the year when we do appointments
Right.
and some new treasurer comes in. So I would maybe caution you to be, and I also don't think you should be on both committees.
Oh, I agreed on both. All right, I was on,
That's what,
Oh.
don't resign yet.
I did not recall to resign yet for the treasurer. So I withdraw my interest at this point in time.
So are you asking to be on that?
Expressing interest in the irrigation.
We need a nomination or,
Yes, there would be a formal vote on it. I would just add in that it would be for the end of the year, so even if he doesn't continue on, it would still be a great way to get him up to speed, and also a way to go over some of the water supply and demand and that kind of stuff. You can follow up with irrigation and how that works.
Andy was one,
And I've
and he did have irrigation.
been an irrigation customer and I aspire to be one. maybe
That's
perhaps in
not,
the future.
that's not a requirement to be on the
Right.
committee, but.
Yeah. Okay,
I'd like
we have a
to,
motion.
make a motion to,
I think you nominate first.
I think we have
Nominate.
the nomination.
for Director Fisher. Irrigation committee.
we have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Alright.
Any opposed? You can't say no.
I can't, was I supposed to say yes? Do I vote for myself?
What the heck, wait a minute.
Aye.
Okay, so we have moved to, I will, we'll vote, well, actually, I should have given it to public, sorry. Anyway, any public comments on this? If they want to say anything anyway. So we are closing public comment and, we're moving to have Andy as our new, irrigation liaison for the committee.
And I have the date of the next meeting, thank you.
We'll do that. And you have to deal with our friend Christie. Okay, next one, is that it? No. Rush, am I all the way through this?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So
So we're, I think that's it. Okay, so we're up to, is there anything we want to add? For the next agenda?
We've already added it.
You know, future board meetings.
Future board members, sorry.
Nothing to add at this time. If there's anything emergent, I email as always.
Okay. So it is now, ding, ding, ding. Do I have to, is there any public? Nope, no more public. So I guess it is now 3:15 and we are going to be going into closed session.
Could be public comment on this.
Public comment on closed session.
Yeah.
Is there any public comment on closed session? Okay, it is now 3:16 and we're going into closed session.
For coming in.
See you, Carol.
Thank you for your faithfulness.
Hey, Bob. Tori and Ed, I'm gonna put you into a breakout room momentarily, so just be patient.
We should do that first.
Sounds good.
The time is, 5:32. We came out of closed section. And, we have nothing to respond to item A or, the new item E that we had added in the agenda. So,
Madam President, may I just to
Go make that.
clarify, we have nothing to report out.
we had nothing to report out.
Yeah.
On either of those two items. So our next regular meeting is November 12th at 2 p.m. at the district office. At this time, I'll seek a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion for adjournment.
Second. Ah, you beat me to it. Who was the second? You?
All in, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting closed.
Is the recording